Welcome to our eye-opening exploration of what is, for us Christians, one of the most remarkable discoveries of the ancient world. Today, we will direct our attention to the mysterious caves of Qumran, where an extraordinary artifact was discovered and its existence revealed, the Great Isaiah Scroll. The discovery of the Dead Sea Scrolls in the arid caves of Qumran remains one of the most extraordinary archaeological events of the 20th century. These ancient manuscripts, hidden away for nearly 2 millennia, have provided scholars and believers alike with a wealth of information about the religious and cultural life of Jewish communities during the Second Temple period. Central among these scrolls is the Great Isaiah Scroll, which not only encompasses the full text of the book of Isaiah, but also preserves it in a form dating back to at least 100 years before the birth of our Lord. This scroll serves as a window into the past, offering a glimpse into the prophetic writings that foreshadowed the life and mission of Jesus Christ with astounding accuracy. One of the most compelling sections of the Great Isaiah Scroll is Isaiah 53, often referred to as the Suffering Servant passage. This chapter is the centerpiece of a series of 4 so-called servant songs found in the book of Isaiah, chapters 42, 49, 50, and 53. Written with poetic beauty and profound theological depth, Isaiah 53 lays out a portrait of a mysterious figure who suffers and dies for the sins of others, but ultimately triumphs, bringing redemption and healing. Isaiah 53 begins with words that immediately evoke a sense of mystery and intrigue. Who has believed our message, and to whom has the arm of the Lord been revealed? The prophet Isaiah asks this rhetorical question, aware that the message he is about to deliver is both astounding and difficult to believe. He goes on to describe the servant in terms that are paradoxically humble and divine. He grew up before him like a tender shoot and like a root out of dry ground. He had no beauty or majesty to attract us to him, nothing in his appearance that we should desire him. From the outset, the servant is depicted as an unlikely figure, someone who does not conform to worldly expectations of power and glory. This description aligns closely with the depiction of Jesus in the Gospels. Born in the humblest of circumstances in Bethlehem, raised in the despised town of Nazareth, Jesus did not come with the trappings of earthly royalty. His appeal was not in physical appearance, but in the profound spiritual truth and love he embodied. Isaiah continues to describe the servant. He was despised and rejected by mankind, a man of suffering and familiar with pain. Like one from whom people hide their faces, he was despised, and we held him in low esteem. This portrayal is vividly reflected in the New Testament accounts of Jesus' ministry. Despite his teachings, miracles, and acts of compassion, Jesus faced significant opposition and rejection. His hometown in Nazareth dismissed him. The religious leaders saw him as a threat to their authority, and even his own disciples sometimes struggled to understand his mission. The Gospels record instances where Jesus wept for the people who refused to see the truth he was revealing. The core of the suffering servant prophecy hinges on the unimaginable suffering he endures on behalf of others. Surely he took up our pain and bore our suffering, yet we considered him punished by God, stricken by him, and afflicted. But he was pierced for our transgressions, he was crushed for our iniquities. The punishment that brought us peace was on him, and by his wounds we are healed. The brutal imagery of being pierced and crushed carries a direct correlation to the crucifixion of Jesus. Roman historian Tacitus and Jewish historian Josephus both document the historical event of Jesus' crucifixion under Pontius Pilate. This method of execution, particularly the piercing by nails and the subsequent wound inflicted by a spear thrust, corresponds precisely with Isaiah's language. A crucial aspect of the suffering servant is his innocence. He was oppressed and afflicted, yet he did not open his mouth. He was led like a lamb to the slaughter, and as a sheep before its shearers is silent, so he did not open his mouth. This echoes the gospel accounts, where, during his trial and crucifixion, Jesus remained remarkably silent, offering no defense to his accusers. Despite being the recipient of a gross miscarriage of justice, he bore everything with a silent dignity, fulfilling the role of the innocent sacrificial lamb. The prophecy in Isaiah does not end with suffering. It speaks of an ultimate triumph and vindication. After he has suffered, he will see the light of life and be satisfied. By his knowledge, my righteous servant will justify many, and he will bear their iniquities. Therefore, I will give him a portion among the great, and he will divide the spoils with the strong. This prediction of seeing the light of life after suffering alludes to resurrection, an extraordinary claim that finds its powerful counterpart in the resurrection of Jesus. The New Testament portrays the resurrection as the ultimate validation of Jesus' divine mission. The Apostle Paul writes eloquently in 1 Corinthians 15, arguing that if Christ has not been raised, our preaching is useless, and so is your faith. While Christian texts like the New Testament make a compelling case, it is pertinent to remember that non-Christian sources provide external validation to the event of Jesus' crucifixion. As previously mentioned, Tacitus, a Roman historian with no vested interest in Christian theology, notes in his Annals that Christus, from whom the name Christian had its origin, suffered the extreme penalty during the reign of Tiberius at the hands of one of our procurators, Pontius Pilatus. Furthermore, Josephus, a Jewish historian who likewise had no evident motive to bolster Christian claims, mentions Jesus in his Antiquities of the Jews. He writes about Jesus' wisdom, following, and crucifixion under Pilate, further validating the scriptural accounts from an external perspective. The narrative woven by Isaiah in the Great Isaiah Scroll is no mere coincidence or contrived post-event rationalization. The prophecy stands as an extraordinary foretelling of specific aspects of Jesus' life, suffering, and resurrection, a narrative written centuries before the actual events transpired. This astonishing alignment of prophecy and fulfillment underscores the divine authorship of the Bible and reaffirms the belief in Jesus as the promised Messiah. The Great Isaiah Scroll thus acts as a timeless bridge between the Old and New Testaments, merging the Jewish prophetic tradition with the life and mission of Jesus Christ. Evidently, for all of us, it serves as a powerful reinforcement of faith, emphasizing that the advent of Jesus was not an isolated occurrence, but the culmination of God's redemptive plan as foreseen by the prophets. In reflecting upon the scroll's enduring legacy, one is reminded of the words of Jesus to his disciples on the road to Emmaus, as written in Luke 24, verse 27. And beginning with Moses and all the prophets, he explained to them what was said in all the scriptures concerning himself. The Great Isaiah Scroll, with its profound prophecies about the suffering servant, stands as a testament to this truth. It beckons modern readers to explore the divine messages embedded within its lines and to witness the unfolding of God's eternal plan through the miraculous life, sacrificial death, and triumphant resurrection of Jesus Christ. Thus, in studying Isaiah 53 and its fulfillment in Jesus, we not only affirm historical claims, but also deepen our understanding of the divine nature of Christ, strengthening the very foundations of our Christian faith. The astonishing connection between the great Isaiah scroll and the life of Jesus Christ revealed before our very eyes. Isn't it incredible how these ancient prophecies align with the historical events surrounding Jesus' ministry, suffering, and resurrection? If you found this exploration enlightening and thought-provoking, I invite you to subscribe to our channel. By subscribing, you'll stay updated with more captivating videos that dive deep into the mysteries of history and spirituality. And don't forget to hit that notification bell, so you never miss a new episode. But this journey doesn't end here. I want to hear from you. What are your thoughts on the great Isaiah scroll? Did its prophecies about Jesus resonate with you? Leave a comment below sharing your insights and reflections. Your contributions make this community come alive. Thank you for joining me today, and until next time, stay curious, stay inspired, and most importantly, stay on the path of righteousness.